Okay, so did everybody see your score? Huh? Did you see your scores already? Huh?
Yes po, Doc, kita
Kasi ang inilagay ko doon is immediately after the quiz, you will be able to view your score, no? Although there are everybody almost got high, okay, in the quiz except for some, no? Except for some who got 7, mayroong 7, may nakita akong 9, no? Okay, so our subject matter for this morning is about the blood supply, no? It is about the brain and the spinal cord, and then the blood supply, and of course the venous drainage. Some overview to compare, no? Because remember, if you still remember, no, if there will be some injury, okay, some injury to the nerves, no, when it comes to the musculoskeletal structures, no, if there will be some injury to muscles, okay, paralysis of the muscles. So usually paralysis results from injury to the nerves, okay, the motor nerves. But if you are talking about the brain, no, it is a different thing, no. It is if somebody has a hemiplegia or any problem, no, um, causing the musculoskeletal system to move, no. Usually the main problem is injury to the blood vessels. So that is what makes the difference between the injury, okay, when you say paralysis of the muscles and injury to the blood vessel, no, that is supplying the brain. So yun yung pagkakaiba. So let's proceed, no. So when we speak of the blood supply, no, so what will be our main objectives here? Our general objective is at the end of this class, okay, the students must at least be able to describe, no? To describe and know the main arteries and the veins supplying this brain and the spinal cord. Okay? So what will happen? No, you need to understand the result if the artery were blocked, okay, or any injury to the blood vessel. What will happen? What will be the manifestation? Okay, so let's move. So I will be giving you a case scenario here. Okay, so what will be our case scenario? So we have here Mr. Juan de la Cruz, 60-year-old male. Okay, he was playing golf when he collapsed and was in coma, and when was brought to the local hospital. So after 24 hours, okay, he regained consciousness, but was found out to have right-sided paralysis, which involved his whole right lower extremity with sensory loss of the right leg and the left foot and the right foot. Okay, so with this case, we are going to answer this and go then this scenario one by one. So, what is most likely your diagnosis? Which hemisphere will be affected due to the injury? What vessels are affected? And what diagnostic procedure you are going to request so that you will be able to confirm your diagnosis. Okay? So you are going to we are going to answer this case scenario as we go along our lecture this morning. Okay, so take note of the major blood supply, no? So if you're going to look at this picture, there are two major blood supply of the brain, okay? And the two major blood supply of the brain will be arising from your internal carotid artery, okay? So you can see it is already pointed, no, the internal carotid artery, and then of course you have your vertebral artery. So remember that these vessels are paired. Okay, these vessels are paired because you have the left and the right, no, internal carotid artery, and then you have your left vertebral artery. Okay, right and left vertebral artery. So where can you find, no? Where can you find the these blood vessels, no? When you're already inside of the cranial cavity, no? You will see this lying in the subarachnoid space. Okay, so take note of that. It is lying in the subarachnoid space. Now, if you're going to look at this, no, these four arteries, the two internal carotid artery and your two vertebral arteries will anastomose each other where at the inferior aspect of the brain. Okay, so you will see them anastomosing each other at the inferior aspect of the brain, and these blood vessels are the major, no, component of your circulus arteriosus. This circulus arteriosus is your circle of Willis. Okay? So that is your circle of Willis. Now, I just want to tell everyone that you should memorize. No, you do not just look at your circle of Willis. You should memorize. Okay, what vessels are contributing to the formation of your circulus arteriosus or your circle of Willis, because this part of the um, this circle of Willis class is very important to us. Okay, because it is where the blood supply, no, of the brain is arising. Okay, being your internal carotid artery and your vertebral arteries component of your circulus or circle of Willis. Okay, so you have your two major blood supply of the brain. Again, that is your internal carotid artery and the vertebral artery. Okay, so take a look at this picture, class, no? So if you're going to look at this picture, you will see your internal carotid artery here. Remember that you have the brachiocephalic artery, which will be giving rise to your common carotid artery, no? And then your common carotid artery will branch out, okay, giving rise to your artery that will enter, no? That will enter the cranial cavity, okay, and give you its branches, okay? It will be giving rise to the anterior cerebral and the middle cerebral artery. Now, take a look at your vertebral artery. So, this is your vertebral artery. It is arising coming from the arch, okay, from your subclavian artery. And then from your subclavian artery, okay, so this will be giving rise to the vertebral artery and pass through the transversus, no? The transversarium, no? This canal here that you have on the lateral side of your cervical vertebra, okay? Starting from cervical number 6, okay? And then it will go up and reach your foramen magnum. And when it reaches your foramen magnum, the vertebral artery will enter the cranial cavity. Okay? And then you have your right and left vertebral artery that will be anastomosing each other, okay, unite each other and give you the basilar artery. Okay? So this is just to show you the two major sources of our blood supply, no, that we have, okay, in the brain. Now, this is the picture of the inferior portion, no? Inferior portion of the brain. Okay, so you will see here. Okay, so you have your vertebral artery here. Can you see? So the one at the center of your vertebral artery is your anterior spinal artery. Okay, take a look at the anatomy of your um, vertebral arteries. Okay, can you see? So this is the left vertebral artery, and then this is the right vertebral artery, and then you will see them uniting and give you the basilar artery. Okay, and then from there it will be forming your circle of Willis. Okay, so I will be discussing this a little bit later, no, when we are already in the discussion, okay, of the of Willis, so that you'll be understand more, no, because you will see this picture later on again. So the very important thing now that you need to take note is the location of your circle of Willis. So let me give my. Okay, so this is all of this. So you have your two vertebral arteries forming, uniting to form the basilar artery. Okay, and then give rise to the and contributes to the formation of your circle of Willis. Okay, so let's begin discussing the internal carotid artery. So I told you a while ago that the origin of the internal carotid artery, okay, is your common carotid artery. Okay, and then in the picture I told you that your common carotid artery will branch out, okay, giving you the external carotid artery, which is the origin of all the blood supply going to the face. Okay, and then what will happen to your internal carotid artery? Your internal carotid artery, okay, will enter the skull, okay, through your carotid canal, which is located at the temporal bones, okay, at the temporal bones, and then it will pass anteromedially, okay, to the cavernous sinus. Can you see that? Anteromedially, okay, through the cavernous sinus, medial of the anterior clinoid process. Okay, so that is how are we going to look and entry of your internal carotid artery to your cranial cavity. So the location of the internal carotid artery class is very significant, no, because you are in anatomy, no, so you need to take note of the importance of your internal carotid artery while it is associated with the cavernous sinus. Okay, every time a patient will be having cavernous sinus thrombophlebitis, no, arising coming from the inflammation or infection coming from the danger zone of the face, no, then your internal carotid artery will be most likely will also be affected because the internal carotid artery, okay, is very close to the cavernous sinus. Can you see that? So that is the cavernous sinus. And I told you that the cavernous sinus thrombophlebitis usually happens, no, if there is an infection coming from the danger zone of the face, okay, from the danger zone of the face, and then it will be moving the inflammation or the infection will be moving towards your cavernous sinus. Okay, so that is how your internal carotid artery is. Okay, so the internal carotid artery, looking at the picture, no, will be dividing at the medial end of the lateral sulcus of Sylvius. So this is your lateral sulcus of Sylvius. Okay, and then you will see your okay. Let me remove this, and then you will see your internal carotid artery here. Can you see, class? The one I'm pointing. Okay, so this is your internal left internal carotid artery, and then your internal carotid artery will be branching out, okay, and give you the left middle cerebral artery. No, so the left middle cerebral artery will be is the vessel that you see inside of your lateral sylvian fissure or the lateral sulcus or the sylvian fissure. And then you will see the anterior cerebral artery, okay, that structure or that artery that is moving on the anterior part of the brain, okay, to the anterior part of the brain. And remember that your anterior and the middle cerebral arteries is the one that is responsible giving blood supply to the anterior circulation of the brain. Okay, anterior circulation of the brain is your anterior cerebral artery. Please take a look at my pointer. And then, of course, the middle cerebral artery that is passing, going backward of your lateral sylvian fissure. Okay? So this is your internal carotid artery. Now, the anterior cerebral artery, okay, take a look. So this is your anterior cerebral artery, no? So the anterior cerebral artery will enter the longitudinal fissure. You know already the longitudinal fissure on the frontal side, no? That is dividing your cerebral cortex into the left and right cerebral cortex. So this large fissure here is your longitudinal fissure. And then take note that the anterior cerebral artery will be connecting, no, to the opposite side, okay, by your communicating artery. The anterior communicating artery is that part of your circle of Willis that is connecting the left and the right anterior cerebral arteries. Can you see that, class? No? So mayroon naman siyang label. And then take note that the central branches of your anterior cerebral artery will pierce anteriorly, perforating the brain substance and supply parts to lentiform endocaudate nuclei and the internal capsule. So the central branches again of your anterior cerebral artery will be piercing the anterior, okay, perforated substance and supply the lentiform endocaudate nuclei and the internal capsule. Okay, so these are the central branches of the anterior cerebral artery. Okay, now the anterior cerebral artery, ACA, is your anterior cerebral artery. Your anterior cerebral artery will curve backward. Okay, it will curve backward over your corpus callosum. Can you see, class? No. So this is your anterior cerebral artery, no, and then it will be giving you a branch, okay, which will be distributed over the corpus callosum. Can you see? So this is your corpus callosum. Okay. Okay, let me identify first the different parts of the medial side of the brain. So this is your corpus callosum, class, okay? And then you have your septum pellucidum. The one I'm pointing is the septum pellucidum. And then you have your fornix, okay? And then this area here is your diencephalon, okay? So the diencephalon, we're in this specific area here that I am pointing is your thalamus, okay? So this is the thalamus and this is your thalamic adhesions. So the thalamic adhesions will be joining the right and left thalamus or the right and left diencephalon. Okay, so and then of course you have here what organ is this? This one is your pituitary gland, no? Or this is your pituitary gland and this is your pineal gland. Okay, so that is how we're going to look at the um, branches of your anterior cerebral artery. It will be running, okay, your anterior cerebral artery from your internal carotid. This is your internal carotid, will be moving, curving over the corpus callosum. I am tracing it now. Okay, to anastomose with the other side, okay, your anterior cerebral artery will be anastomosing with your posterior cerebral artery. Okay, so this is your posterior cerebral artery, which will be moving, going to the back of the brain. Okay, and then move over your corpus callosum, and then your anterior and your cerebral posterior cerebral artery will anastomose each other. Okay, so please take note on how is the actual distribution of your anterior cerebral artery and how it anastomoses with your posterior cerebral artery. Now, the cortical branches, when you say the cortical branches, can you see these branches of your anterior cerebral arteries? These are what we call the cortical branches of your anterior cerebral artery. So the cortical branches will be supplying all the medial surface of the cerebral cortex up to, no? The parieto occipital sulcus. Okay? So ito yung, this is your parietal part. This is the frontal part of the brain, medial side. So this is your parietal portion. And then it will be separated by your parieto-occipital sulcus. So still this parietal part, parietal lobe of the brain, and this is already your occipital. So the sulcus that you see here separating your parietal lobe of the brain and the occipital lobe of the brain is what we call the parieto-occipital sulcus. Okay, so it's easy to remember, class. No, the name of the sulcus will be depending on what two structures are being separated. So in case of your parieto-occipital sulcus, this one, no, so you will see your parietal and your occipital lobe separated by a depression or a sulcus. And that is your parieto-occipital sulcus. Now, take note that the anterior cerebral artery will also be supplying, okay, the 1 inch or 2.5 centimeter wide on adjoining lateral surface. And that is what we call the leg area of the precentral gyrus. Okay? So this is your precentral gyrus class, no? This is your precentral gyrus, and then this is your postcentral gyrus. Okay? So please take note of that. And then if you're going to look at your anterior cerebral arteries, what are the cortical branches? By just looking at the picture, you will see the cortical branches of your anterior cerebral arteries. Okay, so please take a look, class. So this is your anterior cerebral artery passing over your corpus callosum. So what are the cortical branches of your anterior cerebral artery? So the first one, this is your right anterior cerebral artery. Then it will give you a branch, okay, which is your frontopolar artery. Okay, so I am now enumerating the branches of your or the cortical branches of the anterior cerebral artery. So the first one is your frontopolar. Can you see? Okay, so it will be supplying all the most anterior portion of the frontal lobe, no, medial side. No, we said already that the anterior cerebral artery supply all the arterial blood going to the medial side of our brain. Okay, so the first branch of your right anterior cerebral artery will be the frontopolar, and then on top of the corpus callosum, you have your anterior cerebral artery giving rise to the callosum-marginal artery, and then the callosum-marginal artery will be divided into the posterior, middle, and anterior callosum-marginal artery. No, so these are the medial frontal branches of your right anterior cerebral artery, and then your right anterior cerebral artery will be giving rise to another branch, and that is your pericallosal artery. Okay, and then you will see that your caloso marginal artery, okay, it will be moving on top of your cingulate gyrus. This is your cingulate gyrus class, no? So you will see that your caloso marginal artery will be giving rise to another branch, and that is your paracentral and your singular branches. So the singular branches of your um, uh, the singular branches of your callosum marginal artery will be supplying blood going to your corpus callosum. So this is your corpus callosum. And then this is your pericallosal artery. Okay? So the pericallosal artery is a direct branch of your right anterior cerebral artery. Okay? And then you have your right anterior cerebral artery going up and give you the precuneal artery. Okay? So these are all the branches, cortical branches of your anterior cerebral arteries. Okay, now, any question, class, about the anterior cerebral? Huh? So I already enumerated the different branches of your anterior cerebral artery by just looking at the picture, no, that I have here in the slide. Okay? So let's now proceed to the distribution of your middle cerebral artery. So we said that you have your internal carotid artery here. Okay, so that is your left internal carotid artery. Okay, so you have your the left internal carotid artery here. And then you will see that your internal carotid artery, the inner portion of your internal carotid artery is your your middle cerebral artery. Can you see that? So all of these are your middle cerebral arteries. So I told you a while ago that your middle cerebral artery will be supplying, this is the largest branch of your um, internal carotid artery, okay, and it is supplying, okay, it runs laterally going to the lateral sulcus, okay. Now, the cortical branches of your middle cerebral artery is the one that is responsible supplying blood to the lateral surface of the hemisphere or the brain. Except, okay, so there is an exception. So you have your narrow strip supplied by the anterior cerebral artery, okay? So some branches here that is being supplied by your left anterior cerebral artery. And another exemption is the inferior lateral surface of the hemisphere, which is supplied by the posterior cerebral artery, and the occipital pole, which is also supplied by the posterior cerebral artery. Okay? Now, if you're going to look at the picture, no, you can identify the cortical branches uh, of your middle cerebral artery. So this is your middle cerebral artery class, no? So that is your left middle cerebral artery. So it will be giving you what are the different branches of your middle cerebral artery. Okay, take a look. You have your lateral or frontal artery. Can you see? Okay, and then of course you have your ascending frontal or the candelabra artery. Okay, and then let's move. Okay, your middle cerebral artery will also be giving rise to a branch which is what we call the precentral or the prelollandic artery. Okay, this one, and then you will have another branch here, the central or the Rolandic artery. Okay, and then you have your anterior parietal or the central artery. Okay, so take note of the different branches of your um, middle cerebral artery, the cortical branches of your middle cerebral artery. Okay, so please take note of these different branches. Okay, so the middle cerebral artery will be supplying all the motor area, no? So when you speak of the motor area, what is the motor area of the brain? That is your precentral gyrus, okay? So the precentral gyrus, which is your Broadman's area number 4, okay? So your motor area will be Broadman's area number 4, which is also called the precentral gyrus, no? So all of your precentral gyrus or the motor areas will be supplied by your middle cerebral artery except the leg area. Okay? So if you're going to look at this class, you are looking at the coronal section of the brain, no? So when you're looking at the coronal section of the brain, this part of the brain is your precentral gyrus. Okay? Now the precentral gyrus, but except this upper portion of your middle cerebral artery are all supplied by your middle cerebral, no? But downward to the leg area, no, the leg area of your um the leg area of your precentral gyrus is being supplied by your anterior cerebral artery. Okay? Now, when you look at the central branches of your middle cerebral artery, it will enter the anterior perforated substance and supply the lentiform in caudate nucleus plus the internal capsule. And that vessel is what we call the medial and the lateral lenticulostriate arteries. Okay? So these are your central branches, okay, of your middle cerebral artery that is entering the anterior perforated substance, okay, to supply blood going to your lentiform, okay. So these are your lentiform nucleus, okay, and then you have your caudate nucleus. Can you see that? No? Meron naman siyang arrow class, no? So this is your corpus striatum, no? Wherein you have your caudate nucleus and then you have your lentiform nucleus. So what composes the lentiform nucleus class? The lentiform nucleus is composed of the pallidum, okay, the pallidum and your globus. I mean your putamen, no, your putamen and your globus pallidus. Okay, so that is your middle, no, middle striate, no, medial, and lateral lenticulostriate arteries. Ito yung mga vessels na ito, class. Okay, that is arising coming from your middle cerebral artery. Okay? So ito yung internal carotid artery, class. No, pag sa practical exam ninyo, class, no, kasi ang practical exam ninyo ay face to face pa rin, no? Um ito yung this is your internal carotid artery, but the moment your internal, let's say kunyari dito ako nagpin, no? Nagpin, so that you are going to answer it as internal carotid artery. But if I put the pin a little bit deeper, okay, far from this structure, then you are going to identify it as your middle cerebral artery. So this is the entire length of your middle cerebral artery. Okay? And then kung may makita pa akong available na mga medial and the lateral lenticulostriate arteries, ito yon. They are branches of your middle cerebral arteries. Okay? They are, the central branches will enter the anterior perforated substance. It will perforate, no, your lentiform and your caudate nucleus and your internal capsule. Nasaan ba si internal capsule? The internal capsule is the white line, okay, separating the caudate nucleus or the head of the caudate to your lentiform. Are you with me? Can you follow? Huh? Nucleus, okay, and then it is separate of your lentiform nucleus, which is consisting of the putamen and then your globus pallidus. Okay, so I hope that you are not, no, you are not okay. So you are looking here, class, at the coronal section of the brain. So medyo nagkameron kasi ng changes ang schedule natin, class, no, because of the online ang mga classes. And sayang, no, kasi the brain, no. So ang nangyari, dahil I want the students to concentrate, no, kasi gustong-gusto na ni Nathan i-harvest eh. Kaya lang sabi ko, matatagalan ka sa pag-harvest, mag-concentrate ka muna doon sa pag-review mo ng practical exams ninyo for the PIPLE. The brain of the new cadaver, pagbalik sana natin sa lab. So I don't know if we can do it, no, kasi meron tayong consolidated lecture on May 4, no? So please take note of your schedule. So May 4 is a face-to-face class, no? Kung may intention tayo na i-harvest yung brain, then we will do it. Okay? Para meron tayong i-identify at i-brain cutting, okay? At least before we parted for your anatomy class. Okay? So let's move on. Kasi ako din ang lecturer ng motor truck. Supposed to be, after this is the Dean's lecture, But according to the succession, no, of each lecture, dapat kasi sunod-sunod ang succession ng pagle-lecture ng brain, no? Kasi mahirap, it is difficult to understand if you will be already in the basal ganglia when you don't know the motor tracks yet. Remember, class, that you will see later on that the main function, okay, of the motor tract is for the movement, no, for the movement of the voluntary skilled muscle. Okay? And then what? Meron ka lang ang magmo-move kasi meron ka ng motor tracks, but what structure will initiate? Hindi gagalaw ang muscle without the initiation done by the basal ganglia. Okay, kaya dapat mauna kasi nung ginagawa ko yung schedule, um, medyo maigsi kasi, no, kasi naging 4 sessions na lang kasi ang neuroanatomy, unlike before 5 or 6 session ang neuroanatomy. So ang nangyari ngayon, isiningit-singit ko yung mga lecture, no? And medyo nawala sa isip ko na dapat talagang mauna yung motor tracks before lecturing the basal ganglia. Okay, so kung alam nyo na yung schedule, the lecture on the basal ganglia, I think, was moved on April 27 ba or April 28, no? Kasi there were changes that happened. Okay, so let's take a look at the other branches of your internal carotid artery. So if you're going to look at your circle of Willis, class, no? So the circle of Willis, okay, so this is your internal carotid artery, okay? And then take note, as I said, when you go further, going to the back, then that is already your middle cerebral arteries. So we are talking about okay, so let's discuss the different vessels that will be contributing para hindi kayo nako-confuse. Okay, what vessels will be contributing to the formation of your circulus arteriosus or the circle of Willis? So this is what I'm telling you, class, no, that even your eyes are closed, okay, when you're already about to sleep, no, then you need to take note of the different vessels that contribute to the formation of your circle of Willis. Okay? So as I said, ano yung mga nagko-contribute? Okay, take a look. The major blood supply of the brain will be your vertebral artery, and then this is your internal carotid artery. So itong vertebral artery will be the origin of all the blood supply going to the brain, no? Specifically, saan ang origin? The circle of Willis. Okay, so we said that you have your vertebral artery here. Okay, so let's now give a hint of your circle of Willis. Okay, kasi na-mention na natin ang mga branches, but still you do not know, no, the circle of Willis. So you have your two vertebral artery, the right and the left, and then your right and left vertebral artery, okay, will be uniting, and the union of your right and left vertebral artery will give you the basilar artery. Okay, and then what will happen to the basilar artery? No, it will again terminate into two branches. Can you see that? So it will be terminating to your two branches, which will give you your posterior cerebral artery. So this is your posterior cerebral artery, the right and the left posterior cerebral artery. Okay, and then from the posterior cerebral artery, okay, it will be united to your middle or the internal carotid artery by way of the posterior communicating. Can you see? So this is your posterior communicating arteries. It will be communicating the posterior cerebral to the middle cerebral artery. Okay, and then from the middle cerebral artery, okay, you will see your, can you see this one? So this is your, so this is your anterior cerebral artery already. Can you see? And then your anterior cerebral artery will be could be connected to each other by the anterior communicating artery. And then what will happen to the anterior cerebral artery? It will be moving, going upward to the medial surface of the longitudinal sulcus. Okay? Itong dalawang anterior cerebral artery will be supplying the medial surface, okay, and will enter the medial side of the brain, okay, to the lateral side of your uh, longitudinal sulcus. And then if you're going to look, no, may makikita ka mga branches. So isa-isahin na natin while we see the different branches of your circle of Willis. Although we are going to take this up later on. So if you're going to look at your basilar artery, okay, tingnan muna natin ang basilar artery. The basilar artery will be giving rise to your anterior inferior cerebellar artery. Okay? The basilar artery will also be giving rise to the internal acoustic or your labyrinthine artery. And then it will also be giving rise to the long and short pontine arteries. Okay? And then lastly, the superior cerebellar artery. Okay? So these are all the branches, no? And then meron pa tayo mga perforating arteries, no? Some of the perforating arteries are branches of the basilar. So yung lahat ng nandito class, no, sa basilar artery are branches of the of your basilar artery. Now, your cerebral artery. So meron ding branches ang posterior cerebral arteries. Ano yung mga branches na yon? You will see some perforating, okay, arteries, and then you have the posterior arteries. Okay? And then yung ating posterior communicating artery, this is your posterior communicating artery, will give you the anterior thalamo-striate and your anterior choroidal artery. Okay? So, and then yun namang ating this is your internal carotid artery. Okay? You will see your inferior hypophyseal and the superior hypophyseal arteries. Okay? And then, dito naman sa kabilang side, no, you will see your recurrent artery of Hübner. Can you see that? Okay? So those are some of the branches, and of course, you have your ophthalmic artery. Ito yung ophthalmic artery class. Yan, ophthalmic artery class. So your ophthalmic artery are branches of your internal carotid artery, no? So this ophthalmic carotid artery will be supplying the orbit through below in the optic nerve and other structures. So yan yung sinusupply ng ophthalmic artery. And then you have your posterior communicating artery, okay, which is found at the anterior interpeduncular fossa of the brain. Okay, and then you have here a very long structure, which is your choroidal artery, which is also a part of the middle cerebral. So that is your choroidal artery class. Can you see this? The one I'm pointing. So that is your choroidal artery. It will enter, no, the inferior horn of the lateral ventricle to supply the choroid plexus. Yang ang tawag sa kanya, choroidal artery. Now, let's move to the anterior cerebral artery. So this is your anterior cerebral arteries. Ano yung kanyang mga branches? So you have your hypothalamic artery, okay? And of course, and then you have your anterior communicating arteries, which will be giving rise to the posterior arteries. Okay? So, by just looking at the picture class, no, maski hindi niyo nabasahin yung text, okay, ng lecture ko, you can already identify, okay, the different vessels or arterial vessels contributing to the formation of your circle of Willis. Okay? And then to that contributing vessels, you will know already its different or its branches. Okay? So, kaya medyo parang hindi naman siya ganun kahirap intindihin class, no? So, please take note of the other branches of your internal carotid artery, the ophthalmic, okay, the posterior communicating arteries, and then you have your choroidal arteries. Okay? So, this is your internal carotid. So, bilisan na natin at medyo anong oras na? 9:20 na, no? Okay, so from the internal carotid artery, we will proceed to the vertebral artery. So the vertebral artery is a branch of the first part of the subclavian. So kapag tinanong kayo ano bang origin, sabi ko kanina, no, the origin of the vertebral artery, okay, arises from the first part of the subclavian artery. Then I told you also that it will be ascending, okay, through the upper six cervical vertebra. Okay, yung anim na cervical vertebra by passing through your transverse foramina. And then it will enter, your vertebral artery will enter the foramen magnum and give you your cranial branches. What are the cranial branches of your vertebral artery? The meningeal arteries, the anterior and posterior spinal arteries. You have your posterior inferior cerebellar artery and the medullary artery. So these are the cranial branches of your vertebral artery. So looking at the picture, no, ito yung ating vertebral artery class, no? Can you see? So these are the part of the vertebral artery that is passing by way of your transverse foramina, yung upper six, no? And then it will move and enter your foramen magnum. Nasa foramen magnum ka na rito. And then you have your anterior spinal artery na nasa gitna, okay, arising from the left and right vertebral artery. Okay, and then your vertebral artery will give you, okay, your basilar artery. Okay, so ito yung ating aortic arch. Okay, then um, you will see your brachiocephalic trunk. Okay, and then it will be giving rise to the branches of your arteries that is passing in the neck. Okay, so what are the meningeal branches of your vertebral arteries? Take a look. So you have your meningeal branches. So the meningeal branches are small, supplying the bone and dura and the posterior cranial fossa. Okay? So take a look at the anterior spinal artery. Ito yung tinuturo ko kanina. And then you have your posterior spinal artery. Okay, yung posterior spinal artery class is on the other side of your spinal cord, no? So dalawa yung posterior spinal artery but you have only one anterior spinal artery that is passing to the central fissure of the spinal cord. So the posterior spinal artery will be arising from the vertebral artery or your posterior inferior cerebellar artery. So take note class na hindi always, no, hindi lagi yung posterior spinal artery are originating from the vertebral artery. The posterior spinal artery is either originating from the vertebral artery or the posterior inferior cerebellar artery. Okay, so please take note on that. And then it will descend on the posterior surface of the spinal cord. So dalawa yung posterior spinal artery na yan. And then you have your anterior spinal artery. So the anterior spinal artery, ito yun, no? Formed from the contributory branch of your vertebral artery. Yan yung ating vertebral artery. And then it will give you two branches, no? And then mag-unite and give you the anterior spinal artery. And then it will be descending. Can you see that? So your anterior spinal artery will descend on the anterior surface of the medulla oblongata and your spinal cord. Okay? Are you still with me, class? Huh? Okay, so your posterior inferior cerebellar artery, okay, so please take a look. Nasaan yung posterior inferior cerebellar artery na yan? Ito siya, no? It is already partially cut. So this is the largest branch of your vertebral artery passing between the medulla and the cerebellum. Ito yung cerebellum, no? So okay? It that is your posterior inferior your medulla. This is your medulla oblongata, and then this is your inferior cerebellar artery is in between your medulla oblongata and your artery will supply the following structure: the inferior surface of the vermis, central nuclei of the cerebellum, and the undersurface of the cerebellar hemisphere. It is also supplying the medulla oblongata and the choroid plexus of the fourth ventricle. Okay? Now, what about the medullary branch of your posterior inferior cerebellar artery? So, your medullary arteries, which is a branch of the posterior inferior cerebellar, supply and they are distributed towards your medulla oblongata. Okay? So, that is your medullary artery. Okay, so take a look at your pons, no? So this is your pons class. Can you see that? Okay. So the pons, okay, at the lower border of the pons, kita niyo yung lower border of the pons. Okay, vertebral arteries will unite. Okay, ito yung dalawang vertebral arteries. It will unite and give you the basilar artery. Okay? So nandun siya sa may bandang baba ng pons, no? So that is your pons. Okay, and then what are the branches of your basilar artery? Pag titingnan nyo yun, class, makikita nyo na yung branches ng basilar. So you have the branches to the pons, okay, your pontine artery, and then you have the branches to the cerebellum. Okay, so ano yung mga branches ng basilar artery going to the cerebellum? Is your superior cerebellar and the anterior inferior cerebellar artery. Okay, can you see that, class? So this is your posterior. Okay, that is your anterior cerebellar artery. Can you see ito? Okay, and then you have your superior cerebellar. Just take a look at the pictures, class, no? Para hindi kayo mawala. And then you have your posterior cerebral artery. Okay? So ito yung posterior cerebral artery natin. Ayan. Okay? And then you have your vertebro-basilar arterial system. So ano ba yung vertebro-basilar arterial system? It is the structure that is responsible for the posterior circulation of the brain. Okay? So ang ibig sabihin, yung vertebro-basilar arterial system, ito yung branches, okay, yung vertebral artery and your basilar artery. Ito yung vertebral, ito yung basilar artery. Okay? So it gives the branches supplying the posterior circulation of the brain. So kung titingnan ninyo, lahat ng blood supply going to the posterior part of the brain will be coming from the vertebro-basilar arterial system. Ano nga yung anterior circulation? The anterior cerebral artery and the middle cerebral artery. Okay, yun yung anterior circulation. While the posterior circulation will be the vertebro-basilar arterial system. Okay, so is that clear, class? No? Do you have any question at this point? Huh? Okay, other branches of your basilar artery, I mentioned that already. So ito yung basilar artery natin. So it will be giving rise to your pontine. Kaya pontine, class, no, they are supplying the pons. Kasi ang pons, no? So they will be entering the substance of the pons. And then you have your anterior cerebellar, inferior cerebellar artery. This one. Okay, so that is your anterior inferior cerebellar artery passing the posterolaterally to supply the anterior and inferior parts of the cerebellum. Okay, and then you will see some branches, okay, going to the pons, no? So meron siyang branch na pumupunta sa pons. And then the upper part of your medulla oblongata. Okay, so those are some of the very important vessels which are part of the vertebrobacillar system. Okay, so take note of the superior cerebellar artery. Okay, yun. Can you see this? Okay, may pointer naman. So your superior cerebellar artery, okay, will be arising coming from the termination of your basilar. At this point kasi class, no, magbabranch out na kasi ang basilar. Kaya ang tawag doon termination of basilar artery. And then what will happen to your superior cerebellar artery? It will wind around, okay, the cerebral peduncle. Ito yung ating cerebral peduncle. Okay, and supply the superior surface of the cerebellum. Kita niyo yung mga branches ng ating superior. Yan, ito yung supplying the superior surface of the cerebellum. Ito yung superior surface plus the pons. Meron siyang branches going to the pons, the pineal gland, okay, and then the superior medullary bellum. Okay? And then, of course, you have your labyrinthine, no? The labyrinthine artery, which is also called the internal acoustic artery. Okay, so yung ating internal acoustic, ito siya, no? Kita nyo? So ito yung mga bigger branches na nakikita niyo lumalabas sa basilar artery. Okay, so that is your labyrinthine or the internal acoustic. Okay, so it will be accompanied by your cranial nerve number 7 and your cranial number 8. Okay, and then it will be supplying the internal ear. Okay, kaya ang tawag labyrinth. Okay, it will be supplying the internal ear. Kaya ang tawag labyrinth. Diba? The other name of the inner ear is the labyrinth. Okay, and then open arises as a branch of the anterior inferior cerebellar artery. Okay, so that is your labyrinthine. Okay, now we are now in the posterior cerebral artery class. So this is your posterior. Sabi natin, the basilar artery, okay, will again branch out, no? 'Di ba? Ang vertebral artery nag-unite. The union of the vertebral right and left vertebral artery will give you the basilar. And then pagdating sa taas, no? On the upper portion of the pons, what will happen to your basilar artery? It will again branch into two. Okay? And the branching of your basilar artery will give you the posterior cerebral artery. Ito yung pinakaunang contributor ng circle of Willis. Okay? And then it will curve around the midbrain. Ayan, kita nyo, magka-curve around the midbrain. Ayan, midbrain yan. Okay, and then it will be joined by the posterior communicating branch, yung pataas. Okay, the posterior communicating branch of the internal carotid artery. Okay, di ba? From the posterior, nakaganon, and then meron vessel that is communicating with your internal carotid artery or the middle cerebral artery, no? So ang tawag doon is the posterior communicating branch of the internal carotid artery. So by just looking at your posterior cerebral artery, you will see the different branches, the central branches of the posterior cerebral artery. So these central branches of the posterior cerebral artery will supply the thalamus, lentiform, midbrain, pineal gland, medial geniculate bodies, and the choroidal branch of the lateral ventricle. Okay? So the cortical branches, yun yung central branches, 6 yung branches na yan, no? Pero pagdating naman ng cortical branches ng posterior cerebral arteries, you will see your two branches, the inferolateral surface of the temporal lobe, and then the other cortical branch of the posterior cerebral artery will supply blood to the visual cortex, no, the lateral and medial surface of the occipital lobe. Okay? So yun yung tinatawag nating visual cortex. So the visual cortex is supplied by blood coming from the cortical branches of the posterior cerebral artery. Okay? So I hope that at this point you can still follow me. Okay, so let's just enumerate, no? Class, can you please give me 2 minutes or 3 minutes? Huh? Excuse me for a while. I need to use the toilet. Please excuse me. Okay, so you can go to the toilet also, no? Ay, thank you, class. Let's proceed. Okay? Kasi 9:40 na. Okay, so let's now proceed to the review again of our cerebral arteries. Okay? So we mentioned that there are two major blood supply, okay, or the major two sources of your blood supply to the brain, and that is your internal carotid artery and your vertebrobasilar or the vertebral artery. Okay, so your internal carotid artery will be giving rise to the anterior cerebral and your middle cerebral artery. Okay, while the vertebral artery will be giving rise to the posterior cerebral artery. So the anterior and the middle cerebral artery is the one that is responsible, no, for the blood supply going to the medial side by your anterior cerebral and your anterior surface of the brain and the frontal pole or the frontal lobe of the brain. While the middle lateral cerebral artery will be supplying the lateral side of the brain. Ha? Siguro naman class, hindi na kayo magkakamali, no? The medial side of the brain is you are going to separate the two cerebral cortex, no? You cut through the corpus callosum. So if you cut through the corpus callosum, what will you see? You will see the medial side of the brain. Okay? And that medial side of the brain is supplied by the branches coming from your anterior cerebral arteries. Now, ano naman yung lateral side? Yung lateral side class ng brain, ito yun, no? Yung nakikita mo, no? Yung nakikita mo doon sa side, dalawang side ng right and left cerebral cortex. So that is the lateral side of the brain. And then the posterior portion, okay, of the brain is supplied by the posterior cerebral artery, responsible to the posterior circulation of the brain. The inferior surface and the occipital pole of the brain are supplied by your posterior cerebral arteries. Okay? So please take note of that. So, meron namang mga label class, no? So at this point, what I showed you is the labeled part of the brain, no? Para hindi kayo mawawala, no? Kasi it's very important for you to identify all of these vessels, no? So that later on you could correlate what will happen if there will be injury to the middle cerebral and what will happen if there will be injury to the anterior cerebral arteries. Okay, so I have already explained to you your circle of Willis, no? So we will just add information about your circle of Willis. Sabi ko sa inyo kanina, you need to memorize, no? Hindi lang pwedeng just understand, but you need to memorize your circle of Willis. So what can you see? Your circle of Willis. It is found at the base of the brain, okay? Specifically at the interpeduncular fossa. Okay? So you will see the circle of Willis formed by the anastomosis of your two internal carotid arteries. Ito yung internal carotid artery, right and left. And then you have your vertebral arteries. Okay? Right and left. Okay? So from there, no, your circle of Willis, your internal carotid artery will be branching out and give you the vessels contributing to the formation of your circle of Willis. So your circle of Willis allows the blood that enters either through your internal carotid or your vertebral arteries to be distributed to any part of the both left and right cerebral hemisphere. Okay? So yung lahat ng blood supply natin sa brain class are arising coming from your circle of Willis, which is formed from the formation of two internal carotid arteries and two vertebral arteries. Is that clear, class? Intindi? So that is your circle of Willis, no? So sabi ko sa inyo, you need to memorize, no? This circle of Willis. Mas itulog ka, you need to memorize it. Okay, what contributes to the formation of the circle of Willis? Ito na yon, no? Although I gave a hint already kanina, nagbigay na ako ng overview, no? So let's again try to um, enumerate the different contributors to the formation of the circle of Willis. Okay, so let's start from below. Ulitin natin. So you have your right and left vertebral artery. Okay, the right and left vertebral artery will unite. Okay, and the union of the two vertebral artery will give you the basilar artery. Okay, and then what will happen? Your basilar artery again will branch out into two, giving rise to the next contributor, which is the posterior cerebral artery. Can you see? And then from the posterior cerebral artery, it will be communicating by way of the middle cerebral artery by the posterior communicating arteries. Okay, and then from the middle cerebral artery, okay, from the internal carotid will be giving rise to the anterior cerebral artery. Okay, diretso yung anterior cerebral artery na yan, class, which is joined at the center by the anterior communicating arteries. And then from there, yung mga branches na, class. Okay? So that is how are we going, no? Anim lang naman siya, class, no? And then gawin nating pito, you start from the vertebral artery. Okay? So, ang gawin ninyo para mas madali siyang intindihin, class, you start from the vertebral artery. I-drawing ninyo siya, no? So, this will be your formative quiz, no? You need to send to me and draw the formation, what contributes to the circle of Willis. Okay, so you are going to consolidate, no? Mikere, you are going to consolidate the um, drawing of your classmates, okay, to take note of the formation of the circle of Willis and then encode it and attach it to our Google Classroom. Okay, and then you put there formative quiz, formation of the circle of Willis. So this is an individual formative assignment, ha? Para at least mamemorya nyo yung contributors ng formation ng circle of Willis. Okay, so let's now move to the arteries, to the specific brain areas. Okay, so merong What is the blood supply of the corpus striatum in the internal capsule? Although we mentioned that a while ago already, okay, so let's recapitulate for further understanding kasi napakadami class, no? Ang dami. And then your blood supply to the corpus striatum internal capsule. What are the blood supply of the corpus striatum internal capsule? The medial and the lateral striate central branches of the middle cerebral artery. Okay? So the remainder of your corpus striatum and internal capsule are supplied by the anterior cerebral artery. Okay? So ito yung medyo uh, nasa bandang medial side, no? Nasa may bandang leg area, no? Bandang leg area ng ating presentral gyrus which is supplied by the anterior cerebral artery. Okay? And then you have the thalamus. The thalamus is supplied by the posterior communicating artery, basilar artery, and the posterior cerebral arteries. Okay? The midbrain, okay, anong composition ng midbrain? Okay, your brain midbrain is a part of the brain stem, no? Anong component ng brain stem? You have the midbrain, the pons, and the medulla oblongata. Okay? So your midbrain will be supplied by the posterior cerebral artery, superior cerebellar, and the basilar artery. So kung titignan ninyo class, i-memorya mo na yung mga yan, no? Pang multiple choice question, no? Kita nyo, pang multiple choice question yung mga topic na yan, no? So memorya nyo na kasi tingnan mo ang dami. Okay, blood supply of the pons, basilar artery, anterior, inferior, superior cerebellar artery. Okay? Anong blood supply ng medulla oblongata? Vertebral artery, anterior and posterior spinal arteries, posterior inferior cerebellar artery, and basilar artery. Anong blood supply ng cerebellum? Superior cerebellar artery, anterior inferior cerebellar artery, and the posterior inferior cerebellar artery. Okay? So those are some of the blood supply of the specific parts of the brain. Okay? Although some were mentioned already a while ago, no? So we again repeated so that you will understand them fully. Okay, 10 minutes na lang tayo pero hindi pa. Okay, sa venous drainage na tayo. Any question, class, about the arterial supply? Okay, so let's move. Venous drainage of the brain. Okay. Now, always remember, class, that the veins does not have muscle layer. Okay? No muscular tissue. Kaya nga pag tininyong nyo, class, ang vein, hindi lang sa brain, miski sa ibang part ng ating body, bakit ang ating veins are collapsed? No? Bakit siya collapse? Unlike doon sa mga artery, yung mga artery kasi is bilog. Okay? Because they have the thickest muscular layer, yung tunica media. So aside from having no muscle tissue, the vein of the brain does not also have bulbs. Okay? Kaya nga kapag nagkameron ng rupture, no, kunyari aneurysm or a rupture of any vessel, kapag venous ang origin, no, there is always continuous bleeding or hemorrhage in the brain because they do not have bulbs. Okay? And they do not have also the muscular tissue. So again, to repeat, the veins from the brain will be lying in the subarachnoid space, no? Kaya nga kapag mayroong rupture ng vessel, no? Bakit pagka naglumbar tap ka, bloody, no? O madugo ang dugo ang na-obtain mo. Okay, because the veins are found at the subarachnoid space where you find also your cerebrospinal fluid. Okay, so the veins of the brain will be piercing to the arachnoid matter, meaning the layer of the dura mater, and drain into the cranial venous sinuses. Okay, so yung mga venous sinuses. Okay, so the external cerebral brain, no, pag tinanggal mo ang dura mater, yan ang dura mater class, no? So you will see a lot of vessels, okay, on top of the brain. So yung mga vessels na yan, class, kaya naka-identify naman, no? They are your superior cerebral veins, okay? So you will see your superior cerebral veins beneath the arachnoid, okay? So pass upward over the lateral surface of the cerebral hemisphere, and then your cerebral veins will be emptying into the superior sagittal sinus. So ito yung superior sagittal sinus, class. Okay? So that is running at the surface on top of your superior sagittal sinus. Okay? Or your superior sagittal suture. Okay, ano naman yung superior, superficial middle cerebral brain niya? So ito yun, no? So on the lateral side, we have the superficial middle cerebral brain. Ito yung mga brain na ito. Okay, can you see? So they drain the lateral surface of the cerebral hemisphere and runs inferiorly into the lateral sulcus and empties into the cavernous sinus. Okay? So that is your superficial cerebral, or I mean middle cerebral vein. Okay? So the deep middle cerebral vein drains the insula. Okay, nasa ng insula, class? No, nasa na yung pointer ko, nakawala. So ito yung insula, no? Yung insula, class, kapag sineparate mo yung lateral sylvian fissure, no, pag binuksan mong ganun, you will see the insula, which is said to be another cerebral cortex. Okay, tandaan nyo yung, class, no? The insula is another cerebral cortex according to some author, no? And also you have also your fifth cerebral cortex, and that is your limbic lobe. Okay, so you will study the limbic lobe as we go along neuroanatomy. Okay, so take a look at your deep middle cerebral vein. Ito siya, no? So the deep middle cerebral vein drains the insula and joined by the anterior cerebral and striate veins. Okay, anterior cerebral vein. And then you have your striate. Okay. Um, to form the basilar vein. Okay, so mag-unite yung ating anterior cerebral vein and the striate veins to form your cerebral, I mean your basilar vein. And then your basilar vein will be joining the great cerebral vein. Okay, please take a look. It will be joining the great cerebral vein, which drain into the superior sagittal, or I mean to the straight sinus. Okay? So ito yung straight sinus. Okay, now the internal cerebral vein. So you have two internal cerebral veins, okay, formed by the union of your thalamo-striate and your choroid vein at the interventricular foramen. Okay, so you have two veins that runs posteriorly in the telechoroidea of the third ventricle and unite beneath the splenium of corpus callosum to form the great cerebral vein. So the great cerebral vein will be draining towards your straight sinus. Okay? So yan yung ating great cerebral vein. Okay? So please take note of this very important structures. Okay? Veins of the specific brain areas. Midbrain, you have your brain basal and the great cerebral vein. So the veins coming from the pons will be drained towards the basal vein, cerebellar or neighboring venous sinuses. Okay, vein coming from venous blood coming from the medulla oblongata during venous sinuses. Take note of the different veins found in a specific brain area. Okay, are you still with me? Still have 10 minutes or 5 minutes. Okay, so take a look at your dura mater, no? Pag nakita niyo yung dura mater, ganyan class yung ating dura mater, okay? So the dura mater is divided into major dural fold. So itong ipino-point ko is your sagittal, okay? I mean your palc cerebri, no? The palc cerebri separates the right and the left cerebral cortex. Okay, and then we have the um, palc cerebellum. Okay, so the palc cerebellum separates the both sides of your cerebellum. So that is your palc cerebelli. And then you have your tentorium cerebelli. Okay, so the tentorium cerebelli will be separating the cerebral cortex from the cerebellum. Okay, and then the last one, that's the dorsum cellae or the sella turcica. Okay, so those are the four dural folds of the brain. Okay. Okay, so remember that dural venous sinuses, blood-filled spaces, okay, between the layers of the dura. Okay, so let's identify the different sinuses. So you have your superior sagittal sinus. O yan ang superior sagittal sinus class, no? It is passing on top of your palc cerebri. Okay? And then you have the inferior sagittal sinus. Okay, please take a look. And then you have the straight, okay? And then the transverse, okay? Yung transverse, yung pababa. And then the sigmoid, okay? Venous sinuses. Okay, so please take note of the different sinuses. So I hope that everyone is with me. So let's now proceed to the spinal cord. Medyo maiksi lang yung spinal cord. And then I will give you 10 minutes break and then we will proceed to motor tract. Okay, so ito yung ating spinal cord class, no? I told you that your spinal cord, no, what are the arterial supply of the spinal cord? So meron tayong vertebral artery, and then the vertebral artery will be giving you the anterior spinal artery. Then of course, you will have your posterior spinal artery. So dalawa yung posterior spinal artery from this side. Okay? So those are the two branches for blood supply of the spinal cord. No? So hindi pa natin naisama yung mga radicular arteries. Okay? So yung mga radicular artery class arise from the side of your spinal cord. Okay, so we have two longitudinal vessel, okay, giving rise to the major source of blood going to the spinal cord. So, naipakita ko na sa inyo, isa yung anterior spinal artery. Okay, can you see? So, this entire length is your anterior spinal. And then the other on the other side is the posterior spinal artery. Okay? And then you have your radicular arteries. So yung lahat na yan, the branches are radicular arteries. Okay? So the radicular arteries are small, segmentally arranged vessels that reinforce the longitudinal vessels arise from the arteries outside the vertebral column. Okay? So these are the blood supply of the spinal cord. Okay, so the anterior spinal artery, okay, aware naman na tayo, it is formed by the union of two sides of your vertebral artery. Okay, so it will be running along the entire length of the spinal cord, okay, along the ventromedian fissure, and then you have your anterior spinal artery supplying the anterior two-third, ha? Take note, anterior two-third of the spinal cord. Okay? So bakit kaya anterior two-third? Nasaan yung 3/3 na nagsusupply sa anterior spinal artery? Okay? So makikita niyo yun later. Okay, so the posterior, ito yung kabila, no? So they are two in number. And then you will see that they are branches of either vertebral or the posterior and cerebral artery. Okay? And then branches descending close to the posterior nerve roots and supply the superior one-third of the spinal cord. Okay? So ito yung mga nagdi-descend cord. Yung mga blood vessels, okay, na nag-arise on both sides, whether they are arise spinal. So it's segmental spinal artery, no, at its intervertebral foramen, no. So in between your intervertebral foramen, you have blood supply there, and they are your small segmental arteries. Okay, and then aside from that, you have your anterior radicular artery. The anterior radicular reinforce the spinal artery, and then you have your posterior radicular, no. Your radicular arteries class is composing of two types: the anterior radicular, reinforcing the anterior spinal artery, and the posterior radicular, reinforcing the posterior spinal artery. Okay? So I hope you're still with me kasi ang dami. Okay, so ano yung mga sources class ng mga radicular? Yung mga nasa side na yan, no? So yung mga nasa side are sources of your radicular arteries, which are spinal branches of the following. So what contributes to your radicular artery? The deep cervical artery, okay, ascending cervical, posterior intercostal, lumbar artery, and the lateral sacral artery. Okay? So remember that your radicular arteries, saan siya pupunta? The radicular arteries should be entering the intervertebral foramina. Okay? So doon pumupunta ang radicular arteries. It will be entering by way of your internal foramina and divides into the anterior and spinal, dividing into the anterior and posterior radicular arteries. Okay, so what are the other feeder arteries that you have in the vertebral canal? Okay, the number one there is the great auricular artery. Okay, so yung may pointer, no? So the great radicular artery is also called the great anterior medullary artery of Adam Kiewicz. Okay, so where is the origin of your Adam Kiewicz? Okay, it arises directly from the aorta. Kita niyo yun, no? So it's directly arising coming from the aorta. It could be unilateral. Okay, majority of the persons enters the spinal cord from the left side. And then clinical important, okay, your Adam Kiewicz is the main blood supply to the anterior two-third of the spinal cord. Huh? And inferior two-third of your spinal cord. Andito lang kasi sa klase, the lower part of the spinal cord supplied by your Adam Kiewicz is only the lower part of the spinal cord. Yan yung proximal two-third. Okay, so venous drainage, okay, anterior spinal arteries. I think we discussed this when we discussed the back, no? If you still remember. Okay, ito yung dumadaan sa loob at labas ng vertebral canal. Okay, so you have the anti-spinal vein, posterior cerebral spinal, and the internal vertebral venous plexus. Okay, so at this point, saan makikita yung mga venous drainage ng spinal cord? Nandun sila ngayon sa epidural space. Okay, unlike the brain, nasaan ang brain? Class, nasaan ang blood supply ng brain? What space can you see?
Subarachnoid space po.
Okay, so the subarachnoid space. Ito namang spinal veins will be inside of your epidural space. Okay? So your anterior and posterior spinal will be in continuous communication with the dural venous sinuses. And then the blood coming from dural venous sinuses from the anterior and posterior spinal veins will be moving into the intervertebral veins. Yung intervertebral veins class, they are the ones that is inside your vertebral canal. Okay? And then it gives rise to the vertebral vein, okay, or the ascending lumbar vein and your esophagus system. Okay? So by just looking at the picture, you can already identify the different um, parts of your posterior cerebral artery. Okay, sa wakas, nasa clinical correlate na tayo, no? Kasi sobra na ako ng 5 minutes. Okay, cerebral ischemia. Ano bang, what is the meaning of cerebral ischemia? Usually, class, you will see here an unconscious patient. Okay? So, dahil meron ka ng ischemia, ito yung dry, no? The dry problem of the patient. Where sometimes the patient will come into coma. Okay, so manifestation of cerebral ischemia unconsciousness, okay? And then if the flow to the brain is completely cut off, what will be the manifestation? Okay, so remember that cerebral ischemia is an irreversible brain damage, okay? There will be a death of the nervous tissue and then changes occurs after 4 minutes. Okay? And then cardiac arrest and coronary thrombosis will follow. Okay, so how are you going to look, class, no, of the how are you going to look at the um manifestation of a patient having cerebral ischemia, no? So kapag nagkameron ka ng cerebral ischemia, ischemic heart attack, cerebrovascular disease, no? So the damage in the brain is irreversible. Ang sabing irreversible, pwedeng mabuhay si pasyente but the patient will not be living a normal life. Okay? So yun ang ibig sabihin ng irreversible brain damage. Okay, what will happen if there will be anterior cerebral artery occlusion? Nakakauhaw magdadaldal class. Please excuse me while I'm drinking. Okay? So, anterior cerebral artery occlusion. Okay, ano ba yung mga part ng brain na sinusupply ng anterior cerebral artery, no? Medial portion of the brain and the leg portion of your precentral gyrus. Okay? So alam nyo na ngayon ang circle of Willis. Any occlusion proximal to the anterior communicating artery. Okay? So ito yung nandoon sa middle side ng brain, no? Ito yung umaakyat doon sa precentral gyrus. Okay, yun yung proximal part ng anterior communicating artery. So, if there will be some occlusion proximal to the anterior cerebral communicating artery, then remember that the circulation will be preserved. Oh, Dr. Jackie. Huh? Okay, so the collateral circulation of the medial side of the brain will be preserved. Walang problema doon. Okay? Kung proximal to the anterior communicating artery. But what will happen if the occlusion is distal to the communicating? So, ang ibig sabihin, distal to the communicating, okay, it will follow signs and symptoms. Okay, ano yung signs and symptoms? If there will be occlusion of the distal, okay, of the anterior cerebral artery distal to the communicating artery. Okay, nasabid na ako. The patient will have contralateral hemiparesis. The patient will have hemisensory loss of the leg. Okay, ano yung nakalagay dun sa ating case scenario class, no? And then the patient will have contralateral hemisensory loss of the leg. Okay, ano yung nakalagay dun sa ating case scenario class, no? And then the patient will have contralateral hemisensory loss of the leg. Okay, ano yung nakalagay dun sa ating case scenario class, no? And then the patient will have contralateral hemisensory loss of the leg. Okay, ano yung nakalagay dun sa ating case scenario class, no? And then the patient will have contralateral hemisensory loss of the leg. Okay, ano yung nakalagay dun sa ating case scenario class, no? And then the patient will have contralateral hemisensory loss of the leg. Okay, ano yung nakalagay dun sa ating case scenario class, no? And then the patient will have contralateral hemisensory loss of the leg. Okay, ano yung nakalagay dun sa ating case scenario class, no? And then the patient will have contralateral hemisensory loss of the leg. Okay, ano yung nakalagay dun sa ating case scenario class, no? And then the patient will have contralateral hemisensory loss of the leg. Okay, ano yung nakalagay dun sa ating case scenario class, no? And then the patient will have contralateral hemisenso injury sensory of the leg and the foot. Okay, which part of the brain is affected? The paracentral lobule of the cortex. Okay? The paracentral lobule of the cortex. Yan mo ang maapektuhan. Okay? If there will be occlusion distal to the communicating arteries. Ano pang manifestation kapag occlusion ng distal? Inability to identify objects correctly, the patient will have apathy, and the patient will have some personal changes. So this will be affecting the frontal and the parietal lobes. Okay? So that is your anterior cerebral artery occlusion. Okay, occlusion of the middle rib class, no? If there will be some term like your aphasia, okay, hemiparesis, please put it and add it to your formative assignment, ha? Idagdag ninyo siya, i-define ninyo siya kung anong ibig sabihin. Okay? Yung mga medyo difficult na mga medical term na hindi ko na i-define. Okay? Let's make it a formative assignment. Okay? And then when you draw your circle of Willis, okay, isama nyo na si aphasia, isama na si anosognosia, ano pa yung nakita natin, hemiparesis, okay? Anong what is the difference between hemiparesis, hemiplegia? Okay, please try to differentiate it. Okay, so we're already in the middle cerebral artery occlusion. Alam niyo naman na yung middle cerebral artery occlusion, no? Yung middle cerebral artery will be supplying all the anterior circulation of the lateral side of the brain. Okay, yung nasa labas ng brain. So what will happen? No? The manifestation, if you have occlusion of the middle cerebral artery, contralateral hemiparesis, and hemisensory loss involving mainly the face and the arm. Okay, so face and arm. And it will be affecting the precentral and the postcentral gyrus. Okay, so the patient will have left hemisphere aphasia. Okay, it will be affected. And the patient will have the contralateral homonymous hemianopia. Okay? So please take note, ano ba ang itsura ng contralateral homonymous hemianopia? Nasaan ang damage? There will be damage to the optic radiation. Okay? And then, isama nyo na rin sa assignment ninyo class, ano yung picture ng visual acuity part ng mata kapag contralateral homonymous hemianopia. So, nasaan ang damage? Nasa optic radiation. And then, you have your anosognosia. Okay? So, please take note of your anosognosia. Finally define it. Okay, the posterior cerebral artery occlusion. What will be the manifestation? The patient will have contralateral homonymous hemianopia with some macular sparing. So ito yung makikita ninyo yung macula o yung gitna ng mata, okay, will not be blinded. No? It is spared. Kaya ang tawag macular sparing. So nasa ang damage kapag posterior cerebral artery occlusion? Damage to the calcarine cortex, macular sparing due to the occipital pole, receiving collateral blood supply coming from the middle cerebral artery. Okay, again, ano yung visual agnosia? Okay, pagka sinabing visual agnosia, the patient has ischemia of the left occipital lobe. And then number 3, impairment of memory. Malilimutin yung pasyente, no? Possible damage to the medial aspect of the temporal lobe of the brain. Okay? So these are some of the very important clinical correlates when it comes to the injury or occlusion of your major blood supply to the brain. Okay, so lumalaki na internal carotid artery occlusion, no? So remember that ang internal carotid artery will be giving rise to the two major source of blood supply to the brain, and that is your anterior and your middle cerebral artery. So the manifestation, the symptoms and signs will be depending on the uh, part of the brain that is supplied by the middle cerebral artery, no? And then, of course, it will be including the contralateral hemiparesis and hemianesthesia. Okay, so please differentiate, okay? Differentiate hemiparesis, hemianesthesia, and hemiplegia. Okay, please put it in your, add it in your, anong tawag dito? Formative assignment. The patient also will have partial or complete loss of sight, okay, on the same side. So these are the manifestation if you have occlusion or injury to the internal carotid artery. Cerebrovascular artery occlusion. Kasi of the CNS and the posterior cerebral arteries, including the visual cortex, will be having problems. Okay? So what will be the manifestation? Ipsilateral, same side, temperature sensory loss of pace, and the contralateral pain and temperature loss, sensory loss of the body. And then there will be hemianopia, okay, or complete blindness. Okay, so third manifestation of the vertebrovascular occlusion, ipsilateral loss of gag reflex, dysphagia. This dysphagia is difficulty of swallowing, hoarseness due to the lesion of the nucleus, the glossopharyngeal, and the vagus nerve. The patient will have vertigo. Please define also vertigo. Define also nystagmus. Yung nystagmus, nakakita na ba kayo ng naka-steady ang mata pero galaw ng galaw yung mata? No, that is nystagmus. Nausea, vomiting, ipsilateral Horner syndrome. Kindly include Horner syndrome in your assignment. Ipsilateral ataxia. Please include also your ataxia and the unilateral or bilateral hemiparesis. The artery occlusion. Okay, so for your reading assignment class, no, aside from what I have given you a while ago, draw the circle of Willis, plus the difficult term that is included in here. Please include it as your assignment, formative assignment, and then also for reading purposes. Okay, please read on the cerebral aneurysms and then tabulate the different kinds of intracranial hemorrhage. Okay, and then spinal cord ischemia. Okay? Now, for hindi na lang siguro gawin nating reading assignment kasi may time pa naman kayo, no? Medyo malayo pa naman yung exam ninyo, no? So you can add this as your formative assignment, no? Just tabulate it. Just anong tawag dito? Brief discussion. Okay, brief discussion on the cerebral aneurysm. Okay, and then spinal cord ischemia, okay, and tabulation of the different kinds of intracranial hemorrhage. Ito yung epidural hematoma, subdural hematoma, okay, subarachnoid hemorrhage, okay. So yun lang, i-differentiate, itatabulate nyo lang yung tatlo. Okay? Doon sa different type of the intracranial hematoma, kindly include the appearance of your, let's say, kunyari, nagpa-CT scan ka. Anong itsura kapag epidural hematoma sa CT scan? Okay, kapag CT scan ng So, do you have any question, class? Ha? Ah, class, kasi 10:20 na, medyo mahaba-haba din class yung motor truck, no? So, bibigyan ko muna kayo ng 10 minutes break, no? And then, my time in my watch is 10:20. So, we will meet at 10:30. I will give you time past class, no? Kasi, I have a lot of things that I did last night, no? Kasi whole day yung I will be with